Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back from the ad break. You are still watching Prime Life. Now, tonight we have with us author Yanda Mexico, a social entrepreneur and trailblazer whose passion for education, youth development, and inclusive economic growth knows no bounds. Now, from founding Access Network Africa, creating EdTech courses at Teneo, and championing entrepreneurial mindsets in schools, Arthur's innovative solutions are transforming communities and unlocking potential in marginalized areas. Thank you so much for joining us on Prime Life, Arthur, and welcome.
Thank you for having me. Molweni, good evening, salam, and goeiemorgen to everyone that's tuned in.
Thank you so much. Now, what was the spark that ignited this passion in you, and how did you identify the opportunities for change in township markets?
Okay. Okay, so many young people who are living in the Western Cape, when it comes to social issues, the social issues are quite evident. They do not need statistics. They are quite visibly existent in front of us and in our communities. The day I found out that I could tackle or do two of my favorite things, which was developing the community and being able to make money. And that is the day that I signed up for social entrepreneurship. So my why and what drives me is quite a personal one.
Mm.
And that is how I found myself in the space of economic development.
Mm, that is very impressive. Now, can you share with us some specific examples of the impact your work has had in township markets or schools, and what would you say is your proudest achievement so far?
Okay, so there are quite a few, but just to name a few, we are currently running a entrepreneurship academy in my hometown in Worcester in partnership with Pool Trust, and what we're doing in that program is we are training high school students and incubating their business ideas. And by the end of this year, we will be incubating 4 high school run and owned businesses. Now, the reason why this initiative really stands out is that in my experience and working with young people, I found that the problem is not whether or not young people are capable. Young people are very capable of coming up with solutions. And working with such a young group is very important because it's presenting us an opportunity to show quite practically how simple with the right tools and support it can be to have young people at the forefront of tackling youth unemployment.
Mm, that's very true. Now, what are some of the challenges that you have faced in implementing your initiatives and creating sustainable change in communities?
Okay. So I think one that always comes out is, you know, social impact. The approach always has to be that the people who are affected by the solution need to be at the forefront to the people who will be coming up with the solutions to the problems in their communities. We are constantly looking for ways to ensure that in our programs, in our courses, in our masterclasses, and our boot camps, that we hone in on the skill set and the mindset of critical thinking and problem solving,
Mm,
which is something that we always highlight to young people as a thing that we've been exposed to even in our households. So the challenge then, more than anything, is really the mindset more than skills.
mm,
Skills are quite simple to teach onto young people.
mm.
But the problem that we're sitting with right now is teaching entrepreneurship mindset and what that means to young people.
Mm. Do you think every person has a potential of being an entrepreneur, or it's something that one has to be born with?
So this is a very interesting question. Now, entrepreneurship at its core is about problem solving, right?
Mm,
So if you are an older sibling, for example, you would know that if you were left with the kids, you had the responsibility of making sure that everyone was safe, making sure that you resolve disputes, and making sure that your siblings are happy, right? Now, the reason why I make this example is that the work in entrepreneurship is to help people identify exactly how common it is amongst our community to have an entrepreneurship spirit, right? So entrepreneurship doesn't start and begin, only at universities.
mm,
But it is something that we are exposed to growing up. And like any discipline or skill, it is something that needs to be learned. It is something that needs to be practiced in order for one to become a successful entrepreneur. Now, when you look at successful entrepreneurs, these are people who have stories of failure that have led them to success, right? A good entrepreneur is an entrepreneur that knows how to fail forward. So that example is a very practical way of showing people exactly what entrepreneurship is, being able to fail forward, being able to take calculated risk, and really daring to dream and daring to make your dreams a reality.
mm. Now, you mentioned that you guys also provide boot camps, training, to students. But can we maybe delve more into the specific tools or techniques that you use to foster entrepreneurial skills and inspire entrepreneurial spirit in students?
Okay. So just to start off by giving our viewers a brief laydown of what it is that we're doing. So the mission that we are on a mission to tackling youth unemployment in South Africa.
Mm,
And we are doing that through two pathways, right? So the first being skills and education training
mhm,
through boot camps, workshops, and courses that we design and teach, as well as youth startup support, right? Now, the core of what we teach is the ability to critical think, to problem solve, and to innovate, right? And some of the tools that we practice in designing these social impact programs are tools such as design thinking, which you'd know is a process of incubating ideas and solutions, right?
mm,
These are future focused tools, and they help us create programs, boot camps, workshops that are as practical as possible and that deal with teaching participants how to tackle real life issues that exist around their communities.
mm. That is very, very interesting. Now, you've also received numerous awards and accolades for your work. How do these recognitions inspire you to continue doing what you do?
So comes to recognition, I think it's very important. And the most important outcome of it is that it creates an environment where more young people want to become change makers, right? It also makes it fashionable, or rather it shows young people that it is possible to, number one, build a sustainable business that generates income while tackling while tackling social issues that exist in our communities.
Mm. That is beautiful. Now, as a social entrepreneur yourself, what key lessons have you learned about creating successful businesses that contribute to economic growth and development?
Okay. So there are many, as you can imagine, but in a country like South Africa specifically, especially considering how dynamic the environment is in different parts of South Africa and in different townships. One thing that we do quite well in our social impact programs is that our approach to creating the solution is one that does, or rather ensures that it is human centric, right? So human beings and the human beings that we would like to empower are at the center of that solution,
Mm.
right? Another thing that is important for social entrepreneurs to understand is that the stakeholders in township markets who are very important for making sure that there is sustainability to the programs that we are bringing out, because that is one of the biggest challenges that we face when it comes to social impact, right? How do we create programs that are sustainable and that will ensure that participants, even after being part of the program, are able to carry on and continue, right? And what we found that a lot of organizations miss the critical step of ensuring that the right stakeholders are spoken to in different aspects of social impact, whether it's identifying talent or ensuring that there is community support. And a very practical example of this is that the key stakeholders in the community could be the lady that has been running a soup kitchen in your street, or the pastor that has been working with at-risk youth, right? So you need to have quite a wide mindset when it comes to working within local markets throughout South Africa.
Mm. I mean, Arthur, thank you so much for joining us. Unfortunately, we have run out of time, but it has definitely been a pleasure chatting to you on, entrepreneurship and just the great work that you do.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.
Viewers at home, this was Arthur Yanda Mexico, who was just talking to us about, his great passion for education, youth development, and all the great work that he does in terms of providing the necessary skills around entrepreneurship. But without wasting any time, let's go to a quick ad break. We'll see you right after this.